Signs of success in Bhutan as it keeps the coronavirus under control. Now, as the spread of the coronavirus rages in India, its small Himalayan neighbour Bhutan has largely kept it under control. This despite the fact that the country shares 700 kilometres of porous border with India and has a fragile health system. Bhutan has managed to vaccinate, though, more than 80% of its adult population in around 3 weeks. This despite the fact that its 760,000 people are scattered largely in remote Himalayan villages. A little earlier I spoke to Michael Kugelman. He's Deputy Director of the Asia Programme at the Wilson Centre in the United States and leading specialist on Bhutan. And he told me more about how they've achieved this remarkable success.
From the start, Bhutan's response to the pandemic has been very impressive. You had very swift and effective action from the government. You also had very clear and consistent communication from authorities on what the population should do to deal with the pandemic. And another advantage for Bhutan, I think, is that you have a lot of public trust within society toward political leaders and government institutions. So when the government was providing advice on how to handle the pandemic, the people were trusting them. I think another key factor which has enabled Bhutan to be so successful in its response is this spirit of altruism and compassion that's very known in Bhutan, where you essentially had the entire country, government officials, including the king himself, and the public mobilizing to help those that needed assistance with the pandemic. I mean, you had the king who essentially, he launched a $20 million relief campaign targeting citizens affected by the pandemic. And they moved very quickly to vaccinate the public, though it's important to note that many people were vaccinated initially, but most of those people vaccinated initially only received one dose, not two.
So that kind of much talked about happiness index is not just a kind of a PR thing to appeal to foreign investors, foreign tourists. It actually affects the cultural approach to shared problems.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, some people feel that this gross national happiness thing is some sort of cute little abstraction that's fun to joke about. But indeed, I think it was a major factor that enabled Bhutan to react so effectively to the pandemic to this point.